In this video we're going to look at the add to nest function of Magpie Nest and how to use it to create filler parts to make more efficient use of your material. So here in Rhino I have my sheet on the layer called sheet. I have 3 parts and they're in the layer called parts, and it has ×3 there, so I'm going to produce 3 of each part, 9 parts in total. I'm going to make my first nest using the Magpie in selected geometry mode. And I'm going to select the sheet and I'm going to hold down shift and select my parts. You could also right click on a layer and say select objects. Once I've got the sheet and the parts selected for my first nest, I'm going to say make nest. Those 9 parts will then be nested nice and efficiently. We can let it run for longer, but that looks good enough for our purposes. Once I've got my first nest, I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to select my filler parts, which are here, and you'll see they're on the layer with ×1000, so I can do up to 1000 circles as my filler parts. I'm going to make very sure that I'm in add to nest mode. Normally you'd be in renest, but you want to be, in this case, to be using the add to nest functionality, and that allows you to do a second round of nesting around the nest. So it's really important you select the whole nest and all of the parts within it, and then you hold down shift, also select the filler parts, and in this case I've got ×1000 there. So once I've done that, I'm going to say make nest, and what will happen is it will place as many circles as it possibly can into all of the gaps in the nest. Now you can of course use different configurations, different part tolerances for the second round of nesting if you wish to, and you'll see that's now gone ahead and nested what's that, about 200 parts or so, 200 circles. So a really efficient way of being able to make the most of your material. That's now ready for production, for cutting, and in order to send those off to the machine, I'm going to go to the cut tab, and I'm going to use this in selection mode again, so make sure I'm in selection mode, and then I can go ahead and send that off to the machine. There we go, all ready to be cut. So that's add to nest. Key thing to remember is that you need to make sure you put it into add to nest mode, and also that you select the whole nest and all the parts that have been nested. And you can do that using the shift key, or you can right click and then say on the layer and say select objects. It's also very useful. And you can do that using shift as well. Hope that's useful for you and hope that improves your efficiency. Thank you.